Namaste and welcome. Welcome to our first annual blessing for our departed, beloved animal companions. We have tried to do this for 3 years now. It's been 3 years ago that one of my departed, beloved animal friends said you should do a special ritual for us. I talked to Pranananda, and 3 years have gone by before we were able to get this set up. You know, in Kriya Yoga philosophy, we understand that we are a part of life, not apart from life, that we're not separate from life. But we do have, as humans, this tendency sometimes to think that we are superior to the others. The great naturalist Alex Steen was asked one time, what is the most important creature on earth? What's the most important creature in all of the earth that the whole earth depends upon? And he said, the earthworm. The earthworm. And the person he was talking to said, yeah, the earthworm? How could you say that? And Professor Steen said, in the United States in the 1900s, someone thought that to modernize, they should kill all the earthworms. That the soil would be pure if they killed the earthworms. The soil would be purified. So there was a big effort made to kill the earthworms. And they were successful. And the next year, no crops. Or diminished crops, I should say. Year after that, no crops. And they couldn't figure out what the problem was. Why had that happened? They studied what was the change? What was the change that was made? And the change that was made was to kill all the earthworms. So the scientists did some study, and what they discovered was, I think this is remarkable, the earthworm crawls in the earth and upon the earth, in the earth, and it ingests the earth. But as it eats the earth, its little tiny body has an organ in it that acts a lot like the chicken gizzard. You know, the chicken gizzard that breaks down the rocks that the chickens, when in the food that the chickens eat. And so the earthworm is ingesting all of the earth, processing it and expelling it. It loosens the earth. It makes the earth fertile. It breaks down all of the impediments to growth in the earth. Now, as humans, we don't really think very highly of the earthworm. We think that we're superior to the earthworm. But no matter how I try, I'm not fertilizing the earth the way the earthworm is. Now, some of us have been fortunate enough that other creatures, other beings, have chosen to come and live with us. We like to think that we've brought them into our house and that we're so benefic and that we're the good ones and that we're the superior ones. But yeah, the karma is they've chosen to come and live with us. And they bless us. And they bless us and they bless us and they teach us and they teach us and they teach us. Jane Goodall, who left the earth this week, was asked, are the gorillas your favorite animals? And she said, no, the dogs are. For they teach me to love unconditionally. They just love us. They just love us. That's all. They just love us. And so what we're going to do this morning is go around, anybody who wants to. If you want to put something in the chat, you can put something in the chat. If you want to speak, you can speak. Tell us something that's important to you to share about your beloved pets, your friends who have gone, who've left the earth. I'd like to begin, if I may, with Audrey. She was not my favorite of all of the animal companions that lived with us. In fact, she was the one that I had the most emotional challenges with. But of all of the beings that I've met upon the earth, with maybe the exception of my mom and dad and my guru, she taught me something. It was absolutely profound. When Audrey came to visit, to live with us for her life, I wanted her to be like the other cats. My friend Mr. Rao, who would jump up on my lap, who would sit next to me, who would purr, who would cuddle up next to me. I wanted her to be like that. I wanted her to come down when I was teaching discipleship and crawl up on my disciples' laps. I wanted her to greet people when they came to the door. No, she never did that. Not once. She ran away when people came. She ran away when I came. After she had lived with us about 15 years, I was coming down the stairs from the second floor. And as you come down our stairs, you can see into the front room of the house. And she was lying on the sofa. And she looked at me, and it was like somebody had taken a mirror to my mind. Somebody had taken a mirror to my mind and displayed it to me. And showed me how judgmental my mind was, how unaccepting my mind was, how cruel, day after day after day after day after day. Every time I would see her, I would long for her to be different than what she was. You know, she loved me. She was perfectly fine. She was happy in the house. She played with the other cats. She just was not interested in showing me behaving the way I wanted her to. I just stood there. I started crying. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was chagrined. There are few moments in my life, few moments in my life that I have had such a great satori to realize the nature of the judgmentalness, maybe not of your mind, but of my mind. And Audrey is really one of the reasons we're here today, to honor our beloved departed, because that spiritual lesson was a great lesson to me. She never did come and jump up on my lap. But the respect that I have for her is profound and deep, and I am deeply, deeply grateful. No one has ever been able to show me the nature of my mind in exactly the same way as she did. And so I would offer that to you today. I would offer to you my gratitude to her that we're able to be here, that you all came because you have other loved ones too that you would like to share about. And so we would just open it up to you at this time and ask, what would you like to share? You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you'd like to share a story about your beloved pet, if you'd like to share their name, you can put it in the chat, you can raise your hand, you can talk, anything you want to do, you're welcome to do. So would anybody like to start?
I just put my comment in the chat. and if you use maybe the first thing in the chat. But I was on the board of the Humane Society since I was 23. It was in Chicago, and I learned more than I wanted to know about how so many animals had been living. So it's just an awareness. Animal rights has been a focus of mine my entire life. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. And Mary wrote, I have a message on my refrigerator where I see it daily. My rescued dog, Bella, rescued me. Thank you, Mary. Anybody else?
Well, this is Nell. I have actually three to share. So beautiful, beautiful cat. She was a stray, and we were living in Texas at the time. And one morning I came home, one evening I came home from work, and she was in a tree, and she meowed, and I meowed back, and from then on I was her mother. So. And she was maybe 6 months, I figured, when she came to me. She passed away in November 23 at the age of 19 and a half. And I would say that she gave me, she taught me loyalty. She would meet me at the door when I came home from work. I didn't know of another cat that did that. She slept with me. She slept with us when my husband was alive. When Don was terminally ill and bedbound, she stayed in bed with him. And she was there. She would be with me when I was getting ready in the morning. She was a constant presence. She was beautiful. And then when I took her to the vet, so that her body could be cremated, she had a beautiful, she passed beautifully in the home, quite peacefully. I was with her when she took her last breath, or when she exhaled, I should say. And I took her to the vet to be cremated, and they have a bereavement room, and I took her in there. I placed her body down. She was wrapped in a blanket that I had for her when she was alive, and a little blanket. And then she said to me in my head, she said, "Thank you for taking care of me." So she was wonderful, sweet cat. She went through a lot. She won't go into. Fred, we got at a shelter. He was 1 when we got him. And he passed in January of this year. He was fairly young. He had cancer, 11 years, 8 months. And Fred had 5 planets in Taurus. I mean, he was a Venusian cat. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yeah. Just fine.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody saying something. And he gave me kindness, for sure. He would do hatha yoga with me in the morning. Okay. And he would sit with me when I had breakfast. We shared the chair. He would sit with me, and he was a cuddler. Sat on the couch with me often. And then he would lie on the floor with Doggy Moses. He cuddled with Doggy Moses a lot. He was a very sweet soul. So he brought a lot of love into my life. Very kind soul.
Fred and Doggy Moses, right?
Yes. So Fred is licking Doggy Moses' head.
Okay.
He loved Doggy Moses. Oh, I have so many cuddle pictures with the two of them. Aha, there we are, smiling. He smiled a lot. We got him in Montana. He was born in Montana. We got him from some people we knew as a puppy. And he just passed he passed away Wednesday. He was 14 years, 5 months. So just this past Wednesday. And he didn't complain. he was a happy being with me and his cat family, and he enjoyed the company of a lot of different people. I took him down to Countryside. When I was working, sometimes I'd take him down to Countryside daycare and played with dogs there. He played with neighbors' dogs, other daycare situations when I worked. And he would wag his tail, show excitement when I was picking him up. He did that with about everybody he met. And so I took him to the vet on Wednesday. He could no longer walk, wasn't eating, but he was a trooper. And we stopped by on the way. We stopped by his dog walker's place. Dog walker cried. I told our neighbor Carol, Doggy Moses and I would go over to the neighbor's house, sit in her backyard. He'd go in her yard, walk around, and she'd give him special treats. He liked that. And she cried hearing that he was gone. Everybody who knew him loved him. And she called him her gentle giant. But what he gave me was joy. He definitely gave me joy of life, showed me that all the time. And so we went a lot of places, Doggy Moses and I, and he spread joy wherever he went. So thank you, Doggy Moses.
Thank you so much. There you go, Swamiji. Swamiji 1. Namaste.
Anyway, yes, we had two wonderful dogs who were part of our lives at different times in our life. The first one, her name was Krishna, and we found her, this was in 1973, and Rich found her on the way to one of our first meditation classes that we ever went to together. And she had a little rope around her neck, and she was just about to walk out into a busy street. So we stepped on the rope and stopped her and scooped her up. She was like a fluffy terrier mix dog. And we took her to the meditation class. So that's why we thought giving her an auspicious name was, good karma for both of us. And I always talked about her as a dog who went to a wedding, because we went to somebody's wedding who's actually probably here, and on the beach with Kriya, being married by Pranananda on the beach. And that was just a few blocks from where I lived, and I just put her on the leash and walked over and got to be part of a wedding ceremony on a beach. And towards the end of her life, when I was meditating, she would come into my meditation space or in the meditation room and just lay down with me while I was meditating. I really believe that, just as we improve our lives through our meditation, breathing our Kriya, that I believe our pets get the benefit of that from being in households where people meditate and people are more balanced and so on. So she lived to a very ripe old age, and we were very sad to lose her. And I said I'd never do that again. I'd never have another pet again, but my kids wanted a dog, so then I was married and I had young children, and they'd always say, "Mom, we want a dog, we want a dog." And so we went to a shelter and got a dog, and her name was Pepper. And Pepper had many good qualities, but one of the best was that she saved my grandmother's life. So that's one story that I always tell about her. I was teaching a class in my house. I was in the dining room. My son Dave was asleep in his bed in the bedroom. And at that time, my grandmother was elderly and living with us. And so I was teaching the class, and Pepper jumped on David's bed and woke him up, which she'd never done. But she woke Dave up, and Dave got up and he saw that my grandmother was laying unconscious in the bathroom. And Dave came in and got us, and we called 911. And Grandma eventually was okay enough, and we went to the hospital and so on. And my grandmother didn't have good memory, So she'd say, "Where am I and what am I doing here?" And I would tell her that story over and over again in the emergency room about she was there because Pepper woke Dave up, and she loved Pepper, and we all love Pepper. And the other thing about Pepper is Pepper could do remote hypnosis. I would be, or maybe I'm just unconscious, I don't know, but very susceptible, I suppose. But anyway, there were so many times I would find myself in the kitchen, walking towards the cookie jar where the dog biscuits were, and she'd be just sitting there staring at me. And I'd go like, "How did I get here?" And then she had to have her dog cookie. So and Pepper too lived a good long life with us and shared life with us. And those are the two dogs I wanted to share today with the group. Thank you so much.
I like to talk about Junior. He was our family dog companion for 14 years. And I don't have a picture, but he was a very handsome Brussels Griffon Shih Tzu mix. And he was all black and he was a Aries. He was fun, but he was very serious and always knew what he wanted. Um, in his life, he was trying to teach me, I don't know how well I was learning. He was trying to teach me to slow down and be more gentle. And in his transition, he was teaching that transition, there can be ease, simplicity, and dignity. And I definitely saw that, and our family did as well. And after his transition, I've been able to be connected with him still. But he let me know that coming back can be also simple. It's a matter of resonance and knowing what you want, and you'll be there. And he didn't want to be with me, which it was a learning lesson as well. Because he also put a mirror up, which he had been trying to show me that it just wasn't exactly what he was looking for next time around. But he was an amazing teacher and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful companion for our family. Junior, we love him still. We talk about him all the time and send pictures back and forth about him. Thank you. Thank you for doing this today.
So I'm going to try and get this
Oh, how
close.
beautiful. We can see him beautifully.
Okay, this is Janie, and I lost Janie about 6 months after I lost my husband. But when I became a widow, I was obviously very sad. And Janie did not like to have her picture taken, but one day when I was crying, she came up to me and she sat right in front of me and she just looked into my face with this look. And she wouldn't look away, even when I took her picture, obviously. And my own cat, my current cat, is crying now. Sorry. I have a great love for animals and I've had a lot of pets. But anyway, Janie just was, she was love and she was forgiveness and unconditional love. And she's definitely like my other departed pets, has an important place in my heart still.
This is my cat Jumper. It's let's see, hard to see because
Put it up to the screen.
but
We can see Jumper.
I got him when he was 4 months old, and he's been such a loving companion. Sometimes he will cuddle up with me, and it just means so much to me to have this close relationship. And he's been biting my leg just recently. well, that's why I kept turning my video off. I don't know what's wrong with him, but if everyone could send some prayers that he's not sick, I'd greatly appreciate it. I think maybe I need to take him to the vet. Um, but he's just a wonderful companion, and um, I the lesson that he's teaching me, I think, is to really express myself, because he's a very expressive cat, and he'll cry if he doesn't like something, and he'll like he used to not let me leave my apartment. He'd stand right at the door and wouldn't let me open up the door because he didn't want me to go, and it's made me feel so loved and valued, even though it was uh, uh, difficult and annoying, but he doesn't do that anymore. But his companionship means so much to me. He's 11 now, and uh, I'm still looking, I think, learning the lesson that he's teaching me. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Thank you, Kira. And I know you had some other beloved animals. Do you want to say the names of the other pets, your other cats who have gone before?
Yes, I had some beloved dogs. One was named Poochie. I had two beloved Samoyeds named Husky, and I had some childhood cats. The mother was called Mama Cat, and she had 5 babies who I was very close with when I was in grammar school. And
Thank
I
you.
think about them often.
Yeah, so someone gave us, we had a cat and someone gave us another cat that she couldn't keep. I thought, oh, 2 cats is good. So, but this cat, his name was Tiger Boy, and he was so loving. He craved attention, and you'd hold him, he'd put his paws here, and he'd lick your face and your neck and your ears, and he'd purr while he's licking your face. And another thing you like to do is suck on your fingers. He'd just suck on your fingers and he would drool down your arm and he would purr and he was in heaven. And he was a wonderful cat. And when the other cat died, oh, he was just devastated. I would come home from work and I saw such grief, such incredible grief in his face. So I would at the time I would go sometimes to the Unity Church, and they had this thing called Pet Ministry, and they would show, bring up somebody, they have a cat or a dog, and does anybody need a cat or a dog? And here's a nice pet. So I thought, you know what, that would be a good pet for Tiger Boy. So I took him home, and oh, they just connected so beautifully. So anyway, I've had good cats ever since then, and but I always remember Tiger Boy.
Okay, we'll start with Cat.
Oh,
He always comes when we're in meditation. So put him down now. I wanted to show my buddy Kirby. I know it's hard to see.
Oh, it's beautiful. We can see him just fine.
Yeah, Kirby came to me as a kind of a rescue dog. He came from a broken relationship. The husband and wife broke up, and it was kind of messy, and so we took Kirby in, and It turned out that Kirby was my savior when I went through a breakup of a relationship of my own. A surprise to me that I didn't know what was coming, but he was my savior, and he came with me when I got with Cecile, and we brought him here, and his sister down here, I can't she's an Australian Shepherd. She was a puppy, and he taught her how to be a dog, and then pretty soon she was dragging him around the house. Kirby was he's a small dog. I don't think he weighed more than 14 pounds. She weighs 50 now, so big difference there. But this guy was a savior for me, and we came home one night and found him. He had trouble. He couldn't breathe, and got him to the vet. And little dogs have a problem with their esophagus collapses, and that's what happened to him, and there was no fixing it. So, but that's my buddy, Kirby.
Do you have a preference for a little song or a reading, Pranananda?
I think a little song would be really
Okay.
wonderful, if you don't mind,
All right.
please.
Okay, this is it's really a poem, a Mary Oliver poem called "Every Dog's Song," which I came upon, and I thought it was really sweet. Some of you dog lovers may already know it, but I just put a little music to it, so that's what I'll do. I have a bed, my very own. It's just my size, and sometimes I like to sleep alone with dreams inside my eyes. But sometimes dreams are dark and wild and creepy, and I wake and I'm afraid, though I don't know why. But I'm no longer sleepy, and too slowly the hours go by. So I climb on the bed where the light of the moon is shining on your face, and I know it will be morning soon. Everybody needs a safe place.
So it's very difficult for me to speak because although I've lost a lot of friends, and the worst experience I had was when I lost my mother. I mean, as people went, but when I lost my dog and I lost my bird, I'm inconsolable and still so. So Ozzy, this was my Ozzy, and he was the first dog we had as an adult, and he loved to pose, and we would dress him in things, and I had even dressed him in a shawl of the mala and sent it to Kriyananda, and Kriyananda says to me, I think he thought that the dog was more of a guru than he was, and it was very, very sweet. And then as Ozzy got older, here he is there with a little doll. And you could see we both had the same gray streaks. So he was really a mama's dog. We did replace him. And the dog we have now is a daddy's dog. So it's a different relationship. Whenever I would sit for meditation, he would be there. He would sit there. He was just such a soulmate. And the sad thing about all that was, let me see, this was my Wolfie, and he was a cockatiel that I had for 27 years. And he would say, Barbara, Barbara. And he would sing Figaro, 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 Figaro. And he had about a 25-word vocabulary. But when we got Ozzy, he couldn't really come out anymore because we thought the dog would attack him. And this has been, he lived to be 27, which is a long time for that kind of bird, but it wouldn't matter if he lived to be 100. It's just the place that the way that animals affect me, and I think many, many people, is they go right to the heart. They don't stop for anything else, right to the heart. And I know I carry them with me all the time. I know many times when I am at the blessings, I don't know why I become so emotional. And in everyday life, I'm not really that emotional. But when it comes to people expressing the pain for the people they've lost or the animals they've lost, I really feel it. And I just hope everybody's having a great old time there. And I don't know, I often thought, because of when Ozzy died and when my other dog was born, that little bit of Ozzy is in this new dog, because it was just that amount of time that the dog would have been in the mother's belly after he died. I like counted, and I see some similar things, even though this dog is a white dog with black eyes. But sometimes I just say, Ozzy, I know you're there, because this one is like a maniac, but then he'll sit and do the meditation like Ozzy used to do. And I go, I know you're there. So, whether that's fantasy or fact, it doesn't matter. It helps to feel that way. So that's all I have to say. I'll get back to my tissues.
Barbara, our guru said, and he told me when my first cat transitioned, Sarah, that if I wanted her to come back, that I could call her back. And as Vyomanananda said, if she wanted to come back, she would come. If she didn't, she wouldn't. And she did come back in a boy's body and another cat. But when the second one transitioned, I knew better. I knew that it wasn't right for me to call. And so it's quite likely that Ozzy has come back to you. I mean, Kriyananda said between up to 3 years after they've gone, they can come
Yeah,
back.
no, but this wasn't that. And what's interesting? He loved Ozzy's toy. There was a particular toy. He loved the toy. There were a couple of toys. I mean, many toys I had donated because he never played with them, but a couple of toys. And this new dog, Leonardo, he keeps going for those. I don't know, but I remembered Kriyananda when I told him I was going to get a dog. At first, he says to me, no, no, don't, because I think he felt it would be in the way of my spiritual path. And then he said, okay, because there were so many lessons to be learned from having animals are smarter than us. They go right for what's right. They don't have to say anything. They're just, I think they're the greatest teachers they are. And as far as that earthworm goes, I will tell you that when I am digging in the soil and I see earthworms, I make sure that they go back where they're supposed to go. So I enjoyed that story very much.
Right now, I don't have anything in particular. I have a lot of things, but I need to formulate them in my mind. But I do have rescue dogs. And I noticed in the chat, you talked that the message was that on the refrigerator that my dogs, my rescue dog really rescued me. And I think they rescue humans. More than we rescue them, they rescue us. I truly do. It's a beautiful, beautiful saying.
And I think what we will do is we'll go into our meditation now and our meditative prayer now. This part of our ritual is a ritual. It is to give gratitude, to feel gratitude, to share gratitude to those beings who have chosen to come and live with us, have chosen to bless us, have chosen to teach us, have chosen to comfort us, have chosen to rescue us in times that are difficult for us. Animals living with humans is a special thing. And Pranananda said at one time that the wolf is the totem for the human. And it is one of the few animal beings that has chosen to leave the wild, if you will, and to come into our homes. And that is a really important thing. They come into our homes. We're talking about all these beings that have chosen to come into our homes. And so we know that they're important because virtually every theology, every mystical path has a guardian for the animals. And one of the mystical traditions that we have is to call upon, when we are in need, to call upon the word that has been used so often is the Lord of or the head of the clan, the queen of the clan, the king of the clan, the leader of the clan, of the dogs, the cats, the rabbits, the snakes, the birds, to call upon them. And one of the mystical practices is if you have animals that are coming around your house, to pay attention to who's there. And if you need to call upon their clan leaders. So this morning we will do that.
Like a good time for the Pashupati mantra?
Yes. Would you like to talk about Pashupati a minute, or would you like me to? Or?
Well, from what I've understand and what I've been looking at is Pashupati is actually the weapon of Shiva. The weapon that is used to, well, we all know about Shiva, who can be quite destructive, but also a very Martian type of figure. But the other side of that is also one that protects, and one that defends, and one that is overlooking for the welfare. And so Pashupati is the one in Hinduism that they refer to as the Lord of the animals, actually the Lord of all beings, but specifically animals. So Pashupati is called on for protection for the animals. And it's a very simple mantra we could chant just to invoke that sense of calling upon a form for protection. And we can expand this out. I was glad you mentioned Jane Goodall today, Pranananda, because when she was first doing her studies and was observing what she was observing, and could see these connections in these chimps and the intelligence and the emotions and the depth of feeling, and she was told, never talk about that. You can't say anything about that because you'd be laughed at, right? But she really brought out. She ignored that. She eventually just had to speak about it, what she saw in their relationships, and yes. So I think she's one who very much lived her life trying to protect these beautiful creatures, and spread her her wisdom about that and her knowledge and spread it out to all animals and all life. So Pashupati, it's just simply Om Pashupatiye or Pashupataye Namaha. Om Pashupataye Namaha. When you do the mantra, you change the E to the Ah. Just two pitches. Om Pashupatiye Namaha. Om Pashupataye 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 Namaha.
O Great Spirit, Namaste. Om Shri Pashupataye Namaha. O clan leaders, we call upon the queens, kings, lords, leaders of the dogs, the cats, the rabbits, the birds, the squirrels, the chipmunks, the gerbils, the hamsters, the bees, all of the beings, the non-humans, of the air, the earth, the fire, the water. We call upon thee at this moment. Most beloved companions, thou who have blessed us, who have gone before us, whose names we spoke today. Kitty Rosa, Friend, Doggy Moses, Krishna, Pepper, Junior, Jamie, Poochie, Husky, Mama Cat, Tiger Boy, Kirby, Ozzy, Wolfie, Jupiter, Audrey, Mr. Rao, Jack, Annie, Cranston. All of you, if we've called you by name, or we have not, know that you are in our hearts. We ask that you bless us at this moment with your presence. Most beloved and precious Ishtadevata, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, and in thy formless manifestation, come and be with us at this moment. Most beloved beings who have lived with us, the humans call you pets. We know you are our beloved teachers, our companions. At this moment, in your mind's eyes, see your beloved pet companion. See all of them. Feel their presence. We call upon all of the who have been and lived with humans in all times, in all places, that you will be blessed by this ritual. Most beloved and precious Ishtadevata, join with us, O ye powers that be, join with us as we send forth at this moment our gratitude, our blessings to these beloved souls who have lived with us, who have shared their lives with us, who have blessed us again and again and again and again. Make your mind's eye expand to your heart center. Allow the connection between your heart and your Ajna chakra to expand as golden light. Allow this to be a mirror to those souls who were your pet companions, who chose to live with you. Show them, offer them. At this moment, offer your gratitude, your thanks, your blessing for everything that they have given to you. Speak to them, saying whatever you wish to say to them. And when the gong sounds, finish your conversation with them. Now finish your dialogue with them. O ye beloved pet companions, we place this altar before you. Upon the altar we breathe our breath. Each gift that we place upon the altar is for you to use in the currency of your realm. Forgive us if we do not know the currency of your realm, but allow our love and our gratitude to make these gifts to you. We offer you first this light, and see the light go to each of your pet companions. We offer you this brilliant light, that your way always be lit, that the light that you brought to our lives radiate back to you, that your new incarnation be harmonious and ever more joy-filled. We give you this light, the light divine that is within each of us. We offer to you, who has such great, bountiful light. May your way be blessed. We offer to your clan all of your family members. First, we offer this gift of water. We give it to you in the way that is best for you. See this water as a stream of clear, crystal water flowing down from the mountains, available always. Or see it in a goblet, whichever you prefer. We offer this water to you and to your clan, that your thirst may always be quenched. We offer you at this moment a piece of fruit from the earth. This is the highest food that a human can offer to another. We offer this high vibration to you, that the powers that be transform this into food, that you and your clan will always be nourished. We offer you this golden light shawl, this magical cloth that will create shelter for you, that is suited to you and to your clan, that you may always have shelter. In our mind's eye, we picture the letter A. This is the beginning of an alphabet. which we use to communicate. We know that you speak differently. We offer this symbol of communication. Ah, oo, om, om, om. That you and your clan always be able to communicate, that we hear you, that we attune to you, that we may communicate with you. Om, om, om. Most beloved animal companions, we do not know the currency of the realm that you live in. Forgive us. We offer to you this gold coin, the most precious currency in the realm that we live. We know that the coin of itself is no use to you, but all of the pranic energy that is within this, all of the love and the pranic energy we offer to thee, that it may be used in your realm, that all of your needs may be met. You have taught us love. You have shown us love. You have shown us loyalty. You have shown us courage. You have mirrored the state of our minds to us. Again and again and again, you have comforted us. You have rescued us. You have been here when our lives have been difficult. You have brought joy and laughter. And giggling and fun. And wonderful outdoor walks. And comfort and snuggles. You have shown us how to live. You have shown us how to transition to the next life. At this moment, give to your animal companions whatever gift you want to give. Say whatever words you feel should be said to them. Most beloved companions, we offer you this mantra, sending our blessings to you, to all of your clan, in all of the realms. Pranananda, would you lead us in the Sarvasham mantra, please? Offering these blessings to all of our companions.
The blessings in this mantra are for goodness, for peace, for wholeness, and for auspiciousness. Everyone, everywhere in the clans, on all planes of existence. Sarvesham Svastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarvesham Svastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarvesham Svastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarvesham Svastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarvesham Svastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
O ye powers that be, pour forth thy blessings upon these beloved companions. Fill their lives with light, with goodness. Te, Be, Su, De, Ba, Ya. Feel the golden dewdrops of Anandic bliss pouring forth upon them. May your heart open. May you see them and radiate gratitude. Okakasamade. Because of you we are well. Because of you we are well. Because of you we are well. Smile upon them, and at this moment feel them smiling back upon you. Most beloved, we thank you. At this moment, we accept your blessings, allowing ourselves to receive your love. My beloved, we have done that which we came to do. We will see you again. We will meet again at the right time, the right place. You have blessed us. O ye clan leaders, we bow with gratitude to you, to your family, to our beloved who are part of your family. May there be peace between us always. May we treat each member of your clan with deep respect and gratitude. May we see you as we know you see us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Pranananda, would you close our ritual? I believe you have a reading to share and then any music that you would like. And I would like to say one small thing, another thing that Jane Goodall said. When asked what her favorite animal was, and she said the dogs, the interviewer said, not the chimpanzees? And she said, no, they're too much like humans. It is the dogs that love without judging. It is the dogs that send forth their blessings.
Thank you for sharing that.
Namaste.
This is a little piece that I just read the other day from Ray Grassi's Substack, and I thought since we were doing this ritual today, it would be appropriate to share it. He wrote, I've spent my entire life studying and admiring works of art, paintings, musical compositions, architectural masterpieces, books, and so on. But I've increasingly come to view animals, including, of course, pets, as living works of art. Yes, they're emotionally meaningful to us as companions, but I mean also seeing them as aesthetic creations beyond the abilities of the greatest Leonardo or Michelangelo. Nor do I mean that solely in terms of physical features, like the symmetry of a cat's face, or an Irish setter's flowing hair, or the exquisite proportions of a horse's body, and so on, breathtaking as all those are. Rather, I mean the whole package, how the personality and behaviors and physical features come together in exquisite harmony. By comparison, think of what makes a great symphony a masterpiece. It's not about a single beautiful passage or quality in that work, but the sense of balance and beauty amongst all its parts, how these all fit together. In fact, the more you listen to it over the course of months or sometimes years, the more subtleties start to emerge for you amongst those parts. It's very similar with any ordinary cat, for example. There isn't simply the beauty of its feline character and the unique qualities of that general species, but all the quirks and heart-achingly beautiful nuances of that specific cat and how all its elements fit together. It's akin to a great symphony, or perhaps an organic, transcendentally intricate Rubik's Cube, infinitely compounded in complexity and beauty, and ways that continually review new subtleties and surprises. If you were to assemble all the greatest artists in the world and have them create a creature as extraordinary and nuanced as an ordinary cat or dog, or for that matter, bird, mouse, possum, or skunk, you couldn't do it. Not on all those different levels with all those nuances. Such creatures are natural artworks beyond mortal comprehension, and I'll always be in awe of that fact. Living masterpieces, all. And then he adds in parenthesis, I'm gradually working my way up to seeing humans this way too, but that's proving to be a slightly harder slog. I plan on sticking with it though. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Bhavantu, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Bhavantu.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sharing your stories and your blessings and your experiences with your beloved. Pranananda, anything else?
No, thank you very much, Pranananda. That was really lovely. The ritual very lovely too. Thank you.
Shanti. Namaste, Ji.